Well, hello, and thanks for watching another episode of News of the Pews, where you can count on unapologetic 2A advocacy. Gun rights are human rights. Control freaks in Connecticut stayed up late to pass more gun control because if there is one thing politicians care about almost as much as insider trading, it's trampling your rights and using the money they stole from you to do it. HB 5053 is that convertible pistol bill I told you about a while ago. It bans pistols with a cruciform trigger bar under the theory that will make it impossible to convert to full auto. Because you are a learned and intelligent consumer of information, and because you are a critical thinker, you know that all semi-auto firearms yearn for the bird. You know that semi-auto is actually more complicated than full auto and requires special parts to stop the cycle from continuing. And because you are a decent person, it's natural for you to assume that you know more about guns than the control freaks do.
Hi there. Is there a project you're working on?
I know more than you.
All right.
And that the only reason they bother with a pointless ban like this is they don't know how pointless it really is. Dear friend, I'm sorry, but the bill really isn't pointless at all, because the point is not to reduce crime or improve safety. The point is to harass peaceable gun owners. The point is to reduce available options incrementally, increase prices, and deny fundamental rights to disadvantaged populations. The point is the same as it has always been, because gun control has never been about the guns, it has always been about control. But hey, it would be impossible for me to produce quality 2A propaganda without you. That's right. I don't have any sponsors, so I literally could not make this content without your support. So if you are in a comfortable place in life, please consider supporting this channel by purchasing one of these sick t-shirts for just 15 bucks. Or maybe one of these rad stickers, mugs, or magnets is more your speed. But whether you buy merch or donate directly at the links down there in the doobly-doo and right here, your support is what keeps this thing going, and I am incredibly grateful for your generous support. But if you are not in a comfortable place in life, please don't feel pressured. You don't owe anyone else a thing. Just enjoy this 2A propaganda at the price of free $99 and continue to pray for us. Pennsylvania is poised to pass permitless carry. Possibly. If the aptly named SB 357 passes, Pennsylvania becomes the 30th state to allow people to exercise their fundamental rights without groveling for permission. It may not seem like much to you, especially if you're already in a permitless carry state, but I think I can make an argument that this is the most important gun rights issue in the country. See, attitudes about firearms shape policy, but policy also shapes attitudes about firearms. If more people are allowed to carry without burdensome government hoops, then more people will carry. More people buy guns, more people have close friends and family who own guns, train, and carry. More people have their prejudices shattered as they are confronted with the fact that gun owners are just normal people, not racist degenerates. In a shell-issue state, a left-leaning, passionate environmentalist with an abusive ex might feel as though the barriers are just too difficult. But without those hurdles in place, she might buy a gun and get some training. You're probably not going to convince her to vote Republican, but you might be able to persuade her that gun rights are every bit as important to gays, Latinos, and sex workers as they are to rich white men. You may be able to explain to her that if she hates Donald Trump with the fury of 1,000 stars, well, maybe it's not a great plan to give him a monopoly on violence. And you can absolutely show her the empirical data that proves gun control has been used to oppress black men since the very beginning. In short, as more people become gun owners, it becomes easier to convince left-wing politicians to stop pushing for gun control.
Stop it. Get some help.
Because we damn sure can't depend on the red team to put up any real opposition. And this bill in Pennsylvania is particularly important because this is no longer just the deep red states passing permitless carry. Currently, there are 29 states with permitless carry. That represents a little less than 47% of the US population. If we can get this bill passed in PA, that would mean a little over 50% of Americans are living in a place where they can exercise their rights as God and the founders intended. This is the part of the video where I normally encourage each of you to call a political ritter in Pennsylvania whether or not you live there, because apes together strong. But the Pennsylvania General Assembly doesn't seem to have a general switchboard number, so you'll have to go to the website and target individual senators yourself. But you're good people and I know you will. Brothers and sisters, this is getting weird. It seems as if every time we talk, I'm telling you about some new, incredibly uncharacteristic moves from the ATF, and today is no exception. Now, they're saying we can have guns shipped directly to our home if we buy them from a dealer in our state.
By the power of Grayskull.
They admit the 1968 Gun Control Act doesn't actually require guns to be purchased in person. Of course, you'll still have to fill out a 4473, but you can prove ID through video and digital means. This is a really big deal for our friends in rural areas, but it also means you should be able to buy guns direct from some manufacturers. In more or less the same manner as Silencer Shop is able to ship silencers directly to your door, PSA should be able to organize a network of local dealers. And yeah, it means the machine is logging even more data about us and prying even deeper into our personal lives. So if you choose to build your iron at home, you do you, Choom. But this is one aspect of the dystopian cyberpunk future we were warned about that I don't totally hate. What do you guys think? Would you buy a gun by Zoom call? Well, folks, round's complete on 2, but before I go, your moment of completion. I love you.